After having a baby, nearly 46% of mothers heavily deprioritise spending money on their own clothes.
She has more important things to think about now.
I used to love getting dressed. I can't remember when I stopped.
Nobody asked her to.
The moment you become a mother, society starts dressing you. You don't notice it happening. But one day, you look in the mirror and you realize you're wearing someone else's idea of who you are now. And nobody asked if you agreed. Hey, I'm Sarah, I'm Iranian, I'm an art director, and I'm a mother. And I'm building this brand in public because I got tired of watching women disappear into versions of themselves they never chose to be. This channel is about the invisible systems that quietly reshape women's lives and how to design your way back out of them. In today's episode, I want to start talking about something that looks like a small thing, but it's absolutely not. Why does your style change after you become a mother? Is it actually about practicality? Or is it someone else's idea of who you should be now? Or is there something else going on? We're gonna look at the psychology behind it, the cultural pressure behind it, and the story of a woman called Hattie Carnegie. If I'm mispronouncing it, excuse my English. An immigrant woman who built one of the most powerful fashion empires in American history by understanding one thing everyone else missed: what women actually wanted to wear. If you're new here, please subscribe. This is the kind of content I put out every week, and it only gets deeper from here. Here's the thing nobody says out loud. Changing your style after having a baby is not a practical decision. It's a social one. And there is a massive difference between those two things. We're told the story goes like this. You have a baby, life gets busy, heels become impractical, dry clean only becomes a joke. And so you simplify. Makes sense, right? Except, here's what I've noticed. Women who become CEOs don't simplify their wardrobe. Women who run marathons don't stop caring about their looks. Women who work 80-hour weeks still get dressed in the morning. It's specifically mothers. Why?
Because the social expectation changes, not the schedule.
Believe it or not, there is research on this. Psychologists call it the maternal uniform. The idea that once a woman becomes a mother, she starts unconsciously dressing to match what her social environment expects a mother to look like. Not what she wants to look like, what a mother is supposed to look like. And in the UK, in 2026, that uniform is still remarkably consistent. Comfortable, muted, practical, invisible. Invisible is a key word here, because the maternal uniform isn't just about clothes, it's about permission. And somewhere along the way, a lot of women stopped giving themselves permission to take up space with how they dressed. I want to say something controversial. The mom uniform, the black leggings, the oversized jumper, the trainers, the complete abandonment of anything that requires any thought was not designed by mothers. It was designed for them, by a culture that finds a well-dressed, visually confident mother slightly threatening. Think about it. A mother who still dresses for herself, who still cares about aesthetics, about her own image, makes people uncomfortable, doesn't she? She's called vain. She's called selfish. She's asked, don't you have more important things to worry about? But a father who keeps dressing well after having a baby, there's absolutely no word there. The asymmetry is not an accident. It's a message. And the message is this. Now that you're a mother, your appearance is not for you anymore. Your job is to be useful, to be comfortable, to be available, to be invisible.
A good mother doesn't draw attention to herself.
I heard that for all my life, and I believed it for longer than I should. Can I tell you something about getting dressed? It's not about clothes. It's never been about clothes. Getting dressed every morning is one of the few moments that is entirely about you. Before anyone needs anything from you, before the feeds, before the nap schedules, and the work emails, before you become a mother or an employee or a partner, for about 5 minutes, you stand in front of your wardrobe and you make a decision about who you are today, that decision matters. Because when you stop making it, when you just grab whatever is clean and requires no thought, you're not saving time, you're skipping yourself. And you can skip yourself for a day, for a week, for months. Because the first few months are very brutal and survival is the brief. But when skipping yourself becomes a habit, when you stop deciding who you are every morning, something quieter happens. You forget there is a decision to be made. Style after motherhood is not about fashion. It's about not forgetting you're still a person with a point of view. And that point of view is worth dressing for. I want to tell you about someone. You probably know her as Hattie Carnegie. She was born in Vienna in 1886. Her family immigrated to the US when she was only a child. 9 children, a father who died young, a mother raising them alone in New York with almost nothing. Hattie started working at 13. By her 20s, she had renamed herself Carnegie, after Andrew Carnegie, the richest man in America. Not because she was trying to be him, because she understood names could tell stories about you. And she intended to tell a different one. She opened a hat shop first, then a dress shop, then a fashion house that would become one of the most influential in 20th century America. And she did all of that, are you ready for this? Without ever learning to sew. Without ever learning to sketch. She couldn't do either of them. What she could do was to understand women. Hattie Carnegie's genius wasn't design, it was translation. She understood the gap between what women were given to wear and what they actually wanted to feel like. She used to say she didn't sell dresses, she sold confidence. And she built an empire on the gap between those two things. She also did something almost nobody talks about. She hired young designers and almost taught them everything. Pauline Treasure, Claire McCardell, and Norma Norrell, 3 of the most important names in American fashion history. All of them were trained by a woman who couldn't draw a single sketch. What she gave them wasn't a technique. It was a philosophy. A woman should never feel like her clothes are wearing her. She should always feel like she's wearing them. I think about Hattie Carnegie every time I open my wardrobe. Not because I have her resources or her network or her era, but because she built everything she built by asking one question nobody else was asking. What does this woman actually need to start feeling like herself? Alright, let's get practical. Because I know some of you are watching this and thinking, okay, but how? How do you actually get your style back after months or years of not thinking about it? And I want to be honest with you. It's not a wardrobe overhaul. It's not a shopping trip. It's not a capsule wardrobe or a style quiz or a Pinterest board. It's one question. And the question is this. What do I want to feel like today? Not what do I need to wear today? Not what is clean? Not what won't get ruined at the playground? What do I want to feel like today? Capable, creative, calm, interesting, like someone who has a point of view, like someone who exists out of her role. Then dress backwards from the feeling.
Most women start with the item. They should start with the intention.
There's one thing I want you to try. First, keep one thing. One item from your before children wardrobe that you genuinely love. Not because it perfectly fits right now, because of how it made you feel. Keep it. Wear it once, even if it's just to make coffee on a Tuesday morning. Second, stop dressing for the hardest version of your day. Most mothers dress for the worst case scenario. What if she has a meltdown in public? What if I have to sprint across a car park? Or what if I spill something? What you don't do is to dress for the best case scenario as well, which is the same day, just without the disasters. Start occasionally dressing for the version of your day that doesn't go wrong. Third, remember that your body changed. It made a human. And it deserves to be dressed with the same care and intention it dressed before. Not smaller clothes, not flattering clothes, a word I've come to distrust. Just clothes that feel like a choice, that feel like you. So why does a woman's style change after she becomes a mother? Here's what I actually think. It doesn't change because life gets busier. It changes because the world starts sending a message. Quiet, consistent, everywhere. That says you're a mother now. That's who you are. And a lot of women receive this message and start dressing accordingly. Not because they chose to, because nobody explicitly told them they didn't have to. Hattie Carnegie built an empire on understanding that women deserved to feel like themselves. Not like a role, not like a uniform, like themselves. And the reason I started this channel, the reason I started talking about this, is because I think the idea is still radical in 2026. A woman who starts dressing for herself after she becomes a mother is still, in some rooms, considered strange. I think she's just awake. Before you go, I want to ask you something. What's one item of clothing you stopped wearing after you became a mother? Not because it wore out, but because at some point you stopped feeling you were allowed to wear it. Tell me in the comments, because I think there's a whole wardrobe of women who stopped giving themselves permission. And I want to know what's in it. If this video made you think, hit subscribe. I put out a new episode every week, and every single one of them is about the same thing. The invisible system that quietly shapes women's lives and how to design your way back. Please like this video if it hits something. And if you're watching this and you're in the middle of figuring out who you are right now, I made the last 2 episodes for you. Episode 1 is about why moving countries doesn't fix you, and episode 2 is about the hidden cost of motherhood that nobody puts in a parenting book. Both are linked here right now. I'll see you next week. We're gonna talk about something I've been obsessed with. Why do some women always seem elegant? Not rich, not thin, not young. Elegant. Is it something you're born with? Or is it something you learn? Or is it something else entirely? I have a theory, and it's gonna change how you get dressed